Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day today. Well, hopefully it was better than my day anyway. In this video, I'm going to share with you the two trades I took this morning that didn't really amount to much, but it kind of drove home some things that I learned last night. I'm going to share that with you. I just didn't take them into consideration today. I just went out and tried it. It didn't work. So I know for a fact that it's time for me to adapt and, refocus my day trading. It's that time of the year. Even though the market really hasn't been that well all year so far, it's really going to be bad now because it's summertime. And that's when my swing trading usually takes off. And I'm going to talk about the swings that I'm in as well. Hopefully they're going to mature tomorrow, so that I'll take them both off. I don't plan on holding anything over the weekend because I'm just ready to start fresh next week. But I should have 5% on both of them, and that's really the minimum that I'm looking for. I may not hit the target, but I'll lock in the profit and just start fresh on Monday. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy my plight. Well, here is my day in a nutshell. Last night I was reading through my journal and that I had last year. And there's a big difference between what I was doing last year and what I'm doing this year in terms of my journaling. Last year I was physically writing it. I was handwriting it. And somehow along the way I got a little lazy and I started typing it. And I was doing everything electronically. And for me, actually writing helps it absorb into my memory better. I absorb the information better. And I should know that because I always required my students to take notes. Some teachers would give out copies of the PowerPoint or notes for a presentation or whatever. I had my students physically take notes. And to encourage them to do that, I allowed them to use those notes whenever we took a test. Because I felt if they wrote it down and then they were able to locate the information that they wrote, they're developing the skill that they need to not only learn, but to apply the information. And I don't know why I haven't been doing that. Why I got away from that. And it's got me to the point where some things I'm not grasping fast enough. And last year I wrote my journal about how bad this week was. It was like somebody cut a light switch off. Now, I don't think we had a day off last year. I can't remember whether we had a day off. Yeah, we had a day off from Memorial Day, and after the week afterwards, it was just pitiful. It was pathetic. And I said then, and I read and I wrote that I was going to take a vacation. This is when I'm going to take my vacation. Memorial Day weekend. This is when we need to go to the beach. And a lot of things changed this year. Having my own community and all of that. I guess if I didn't have my own community, I probably would have taken a vacation. But I wasn't thinking about it. And, Tuesday, I really didn't like the price action, so I didn't trade at all. I think there was one stock, NVDA, that was nice, that gave a good trade, but I wasn't locked into that. Those that have been trading that were locked into it. And then yesterday, it was just a wash. I couldn't get out of my own way. I couldn't get any follow through. And it was just kind of a frustrating day. And then today, it kind of started the same. So again, I shut it down. And some people, I blew up today. If you were in chat, I accidentally left the microphone on. I was screaming at an email I got. When I shut my computer down on a day, if I'm having a bad day and I shut my platform down, I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up. I'm smart enough to know that my strategies are not working today. And I need to stop, because if you sit here and try to force your strategies on a market that's not conducive to your strategies, you're going to continue to give away more money. And some people don't understand that yet. They just think the market is open and you just need to keep trading and trade yourself out of a slump. I mean, yeah, you don't need to quit trading, but maybe for that day, maybe for a couple of hours, you need to stop and figure out and look at what's going on. And I realize we're at that point now in the summertime where I really start to look for smaller moves in the morning. I'm not waiting for those big moves. The same way I take profit early in the afternoon, I need to start doing it in the morning, because the follow through just isn't there on all these stocks. Some of them you do get the follow through, some you don't. So that's one of the things that, changes that I'm going to have to make, that I'm going to have to adapt. I'm not changing my strategy. I just have to be okay with smaller moves. And that's what I did last year. And that's how I survived the summer. In addition to swing trading. Swing trading really paid during the summer. It allowed me to not have to force my day trades and just take what the market gave me. And that makes it so much easier. So looking at DE this morning, it was on my watch. And this was the one that really set up for me the best. EXAS was a lower dollar ticker, but it still had a decent setup. And that was actually the one that gave a good move. It was low enough price that I could have sized up and had a nice hit on, but I just kind of dismissed it because of the price. This was the one on my watch list that I thought had the best potential. Here was the opening range low. And against my better judgment, okay, we opened here. And instead of me waiting, I went ahead and jumped in and anticipated the move. And when I got in, this thing was moving pretty good. It was doing exactly what I wanted it to do. And then all of a sudden, it did an abrupt bout face and came back and closed back above the 20 here. So I kind of waited to see what this candle was going to do. And we started, pushing up. So I got out and said, okay, I'll wait. And, I guess it wants to bounce now. And I'll wait. I can always get back in. So here I waited, got back in here, and was looking for the move down to 124.50 to cover half. We got a nice candle. I'm thinking, no way we're not going to get 124.50 here. And we kind of got hung up here. We kind of got hung up here. Here's 15 minutes that I could have decided, based on the price action I saw and the wall that it ran into right here, I could have just taken profit. But I'm going to tell you what the problem was. The problem was I had lost on this trade. So I was determined to get my money back on my first cover. Is that the first cover, I'm going to get my money back I lost on this trade. And then on the second cover, hopefully I'll make some more, or I'll just get out break even. And because I was doing that, and because I was looking at my realized gains, well, my realized loss on this trade, I didn't take profit like I was supposed to. We didn't get the follow through, and I ended up getting stopped out again. The only thing I did right on this was sticking to my stops. And I only lost $96, right at $100 on this. So no, I wasn't at my max loss. But I knew based on Tuesday, based on yesterday, and based on today, that the market is not working for me. My strategy is not conducive to this market. I'm going to have to adapt to it. And that's kind of what I did today. It's just stopped and waited for me to really get an idea of, okay, this is the direction I need to be going. Okay, I know tomorrow's Friday. That's fine. I don't look at days like that. Tomorrow is just a work day. I come in and I'm going to go to work. Now, I did, it's the beginning of the month, I did start over. Wired out some money on Tuesday. And, Wednesday. I'm sorry, wired out some money on Wednesday. I'm back down. And that's what, that makes it a little difficult too. Which is why I'm doing this. Because most of the traders in the room, most of them that I work with, 99% that I work with, are below PDT. And they're going to have these same struggles. How I manage my trades on a $3,000 to $5,000 account is going to be different than a $10,000 account. Or when I have $8,000 to $10,000 in it, and I'm trading with that, I'm going to manage it differently. My position sizes are going to be smaller. I'm not going to be able to stretch it to, 3 or 4 covers and make decent money. So all of that has to change in order for, us to make money. And you've seen over the last 3 months, back in January, I started with $1,500. I was taking 100, 200 share positions, and we made money. Then we bumped it up to 200 to 300 shares. We made money. 300 to 500 shares. We were making money. And then the market kind of, got away from me. So in the process of making these changes, we'll be taking smaller gains. It may not look pretty, but we're going to make money. And that's what it's all about. It's about making money. And not everybody has the money to be able to make these large gains that you see some people tweet about or post about. Not everybody has that kind of money. And if the market is not good, when you're trading with smaller size, you're going to get these smaller gains. And, my head was just a little bit too big. I didn't want to accept that. I didn't want to accept these small gains. Here I could have taken a $75, $80 cover here. But no, I didn't want that. I wanted more. And what more got me was a $50 loss. What more got me here was a $50 loss. And what impatience got me here was a $50 loss. So I see that, I accept it, and then I move on. So when I stop trading, if I stop trading in the morning, I know that If my platform is up and I see a trade, I might take it. And that's not what I need to be doing. If I'm not right, if things aren't right, I don't need to take a trade. Especially don't need to take a trade to try to make up for what I lost because the trade didn't work the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to stop, and I'll come back after lunch. And if the market looks good after lunch, I'll fire the platform back up and we'll start looking for trades. But if the market still looks, choppy, and it still looks bad for me and my strategy or my setups, I'm not going to trade. That's how you survive. That's how professional traders survive. Just because the market is open doesn't mean that they're there trading all day. They don't. And most traders will tell you, most professional traders will tell you the best time to make money in the market, day trading, is the first hour. After that, it starts to be a crapshoot. And we see that every day. So that's my spiel on my day trades. And that's what I'm going to start focusing on is, taking these smaller wins. They add up. They add up. And I think that I've done a good job of proving that over the last several months. And that you have to be consistent with making these small gains to really grow your account. All right, so let's look at a couple of the swing trades here. Try to find it. All right, here we go. This is TSCO. This is a swing trade we got in a couple of days ago. And the thing is, you have to have some type of strategy for swing trading. Just like with day trading, you got to have some type of strategy. You can't just look at a chart and say, oh, it looks like it's going to bounce, and you get in. There's certain, technical elements that I'm looking at on a daily chart to, look for my trades. And so one of my most favorite day trade setups is going to be, stocks that wash out on an earnings miss or stocks that ramp up on an earnings hit. Because at some point, they're either going to be oversold or they're going to be overbought. And when that happens, they're going to pull in. And if we get the right move to the downside in this case, or to the upside, then the longer this rubber band gets stretched out, the harder it's going to snap back. Now, this actually didn't snap back as hard as I anticipated. We got hung up around this area. Now, this white dashed line, this is yesterday's close price. So all I'm looking at on this daily chart is if this candle closed below yesterday's close, if it closed below this white line today, then I take my swing trade off. It's broken the pattern or broken the strategy that I'm trading, so I take it off. So that's the line that I'm looking at. And what I did was I waited I could have entered on this day, but I waited. I got in on this day when this candle opened. It pulled back. This is the 26th. It opened, it pulled back. I got in. And it kind of held serve. It didn't make the moves that I really wanted it to make, but it held serve. Today, we got to move up towards 56, up through 56, really. I want it to hit the 20. That's my goal, for it to pull back to the 20 moving average. If you see where stocks that pull back, oftentimes they pull back to the 20. They always try to come back to the 20 moving average. And in this case, this was actually the wrong. I changed this. Really, we need the EMA. Hold on. I mean the SMA on this chart. I was doing something a little bit earlier, looking at the difference. The differences between the SMA and the EMA. So I need to change these back. All right, but typically this pulls back to the 20. So I'm looking for it to pull back to the 20. But at a minimum, I want to make at least 5% on my swing trades. So if I get in a trade, I don't want to get in it and there's no chance of me making at least 5% on it. It doesn't make sense for me to waste my time or capital. So we had a great day today. This swing trade is paying off. We get 57.50 tomorrow. I'm Gucci. I'm not going to hold this overnight again. No, this I'm not holding. Not overnight, over the weekend again. And let's see, RL is the other one. And you can see RL was a big earnings miss. We had, it pulled back. Could have actually got in on this day. We could have actually got in on Monday, on the 30th. Because here we opened higher than the previous day's close. It's already on my watch because we're oversold. We've gotten into the oversold territory after the earnings miss, and we washed out. So I'm looking for the bounce. And here it is. They're not hard to find. When you use all these technical indicators, I use the MACD on this. I use the RSI. This is stuff, I don't use this in day trading, only for swing trading, only to help me determine where I need to start looking hard for a potential bounce. I get in this and we sell off and we close back below this that day. I take my trade off and wait for the setup. It's just as simple as that. So this ran up today too, up to 69.50. Again, I'm looking for the 200 moving average. The 20-day moving average. I'm looking for this stock to pull back to the 20-day. And that's going to be it. So these two swing trades will, really make my day. My week. They'll make my week. And even though my day trading has sucked for this week, swing trades have ruled the day. And that's the way it's been. Honestly, that's the way it's been for the last several weeks. And that's why, I stopped. And that's why I stopped before. And I said, look, my swing trading is masking the problem I'm having with day trading. And that can't happen because I need to make sure that my day trading is on point and that I identify what's going on so that I can fix it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a day trader first, and that's where my focus is going to be. But, swing trading during the summer, really pays the bills. All right, so that's all I have for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to just take it easy. And if I take some small wins like today, I could have had $100 day versus a minus $100 day. It could have just as easily been a positive $100 day had I just accepted what the chart and what the market was giving me, what the price action was telling me to do. If I had just accepted it, I probably would have traded some more. And there were a couple of good trades that I would have traded and probably would have made some money on because they did work out fairly well. But, I put myself in a position this morning and I have to pay the price. So we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Hopefully we can close out these swings and book some good profit this week. Well, they will get closed out regardless because I'm not holding anything over the weekend. I expect this may not make the 20 tomorrow, but TSCO has the potential to make the 20. It has the potential to move. Because of its ATR, it has the potential to get here. So hopefully, if it doesn't get there, to get close enough for me to be happy with it. All right, so everybody have a great evening, a great night, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow